Hello, guys, and welcome to yet another episode on Clean Code with Fabian. So today we'll be looking at some mistake junior developers make while writing Laravel code. Yeah. So if it's your first time joining us, please subscribe and stay tuned. We basically write clean code here, and we learn how we can craft a more readable and maintainable code at the end of the day. That's just the goal of this channel. So today we are going to be looking at, as I said earlier, common mistake junior developers make with Laravel. So to quickly jump in, let's yeah. So if you look at what I have here, the first method we have in store, and what we are doing here is that we are just getting everything from the request and we are creating this user, right? So what this does is anything that comes from the request is getting it, and this allow for security vulnerabilities. It did not check, it did not validate the data, it just accept the data the way it is, and this is actually very poor. I know a lot of people wouldn't be doing this now, even juniors, but I just want to emphasize that it's very important that you validate your data. As you can see, what I did here, you validate your data properly, not just saying your data is required, but you must indicate the data type and, if possible, the size. If it's a unique data and the minimum size, if it's necessary, you have to indicate them. Yeah, to avoid, even when you are filtering data, it's essential that you validate those kind of data. You don't just data like that, because it can lead to security glitch. So let's move forward to yet another mistake. If you can see what we have here, this person is not leveraging on the eloquent relationship. Yeah, which if you have a relationship, if this have a relationship with this guy, which I believe you should, because of what we have here, you should leverage on this relationship, the eloquent relationship, and have this code this way instead of rewriting this logical, because Ravel already handles this. You don't have to go on doing this, because they have a relationship. Yeah. So another common mistake people make, allowing the is grouping your route. Your route shouldn't be like this. You should be able to use grouping names to group your route, so that it can come out in much more uh, uh, readable way. When someone look at it, you know that yes, all these route here are grouped and they belong to a user. So once it's more than one, once it's up to two, you group them basically. So your code will become more cleaner. Yeah. So moving down, what we have here now is that we have our validation is done, and we have our create user, and we are also sending emails. This is basically just too much, and this violate one of the solid principle, which is single responsibility. This method is just doing too much. Yeah, so we'll be talking about solid too. Just stay tuned in our future episode. We'll be explaining in details. I know a lot of people have made videos about it, but I just want to say it my own way, and maybe some people may understand better. So stay tuned, guys. So this method is actually doing too much, and if you look at what we have here, a lot of things are separated into a request, where we have a request that is handling the registration, and then the rest of this code is going where it's going to service. And then this method registered user, and every data that is coming here is passing through validated. This is very important. So at the end of the day, you see that in our controller we have a very just single line of code, and then every other code is separated, and everything is in a way that it can easily be maintained, because the code is very dried. And this is the Laravel convention. This is how it should be written in Laravel. Yeah. So the last thing we have here for today, actually there are a lot of mistake people make. This is just the beginning, so these are just the basics. Maybe as we move forward, we'll go into much more mistake, and you will see how they will turn up. So if you look at what we have here is poor error handling. If you look at the way we handle error, we're just trying using try and catch here, and this doesn't just make a lot of sense even to read. It's not just okay. But if you are following Laravel convention, you have to be able to find this data. And what we're doing is that we find this data first, and if we did not see this data, we throw an error. But if we see this data, we'll return it. So if you look at this, is actually much more cleaner and easier to read. So this is a better way, and this follows Laravel convention, and it's more clear, it's more easier to read, and it's for the Laravel standard, because this is an inbuilt exception handling mechanism for Laravel. So this is just it for this video, guys. There's no much I want to say for today. Maybe as time goes on, we'll continue doing some of those mistakes too. So yeah, stay tuned, guys, and I will catch you in the next episode.